Hi, this is Colin from Amenra, and welcome to Pretty Noise. I know man needs God, and what God needs, I will not know. I'm more an agnost, you know. I'm not an atheist. It's not that I don't believe in anything, or I believe in something, but I won't take effort in wanting to explain what, you know. That doesn't really matter. That's where every religion makes its first mistake, and that is trying to write it down, you know. Because it's something you cannot write down. It's something you cannot explain. Why? Because none of us ever saw it or touched it or whatever. But I do believe that there's something out there that can move you and can give you comfort when you need it. But it's something you create yourself, I think. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I do believe, you know. But I'm not Christian. I'm not baptized. I've never had any lessons in whatever. Yeah, but you know, it's nice. It's nice that religion tries to write down a certain moral. You know, tries to teach morals to people. That I like. You know, it's nice to try to make people good human beings. You know, but sometimes, or most of the times, they take it a step too far, you know. So that's where they fail in my eyes, and that's where we want to try and do better with our music, I think, and with what we do.
Why are you screaming?
Why am I screaming? I'm screaming because I want to fight off the things that cast a shadow over my existence, you know, or things that cause harm. Like in a lifetime, people are confronted with situations that are just fate, you know, and stuff you cannot do anything about it. Like someone becoming sick, someone having an accident, you know. Most of the time, it's linked to death, you know, and losing something or someone, losing a love, you know, or a person or whatever. And most of the time, I'm fighting on stage against that darkness that casts a shadow over a world from time to time, and it's a good way for me to lose the weight that is on my shoulders, you know. And I've noticed that by doing so, it makes life easier for me, you know, and for the rest of the band as well, to be able to cast out demons, to put it in a ridiculous way. You know, like in psychology, you also have like therapies, like screaming therapy and stuff. So I mean, there must be a logical explanation for it to lighten up your being. You know, just get it out there. It's soothing, you know, to be able to go there, you know, to like end up in a more mental state that is at peace, you know. So why am I screaming? Am I mad? Yeah, I'm sometimes mad at the things that aren't right or aren't fair, you know, in my eyes. But I mean, it's pretty personal, so that's why. I think everybody has the urge to scream from time to time, but not everybody has this vehicle like I have, that is called Amenra, you know, to be able to channel all that energy in that direction. Some people just don't have that, you know. Some people do boxing, you know, and they also have this way of getting rid of that negative energy or whatever it might be, because of that physicality, you know. Some people ride bikes until they almost die, you know, or until they really physically finished, you know. Anyway, I think it's a medium to lose a certain weight. Yeah, that is probably why I'm screaming.
Maybe that's a bit of a personal question. If you don't want to answer it, just say no. What do your tattoos mean?
A lot. I mean, yeah. Like I have some symbols around. That's like a Theban writing. That is like this stuff, and that's the scripture of the angels. You know, that's my way of communicating with the thing that we cannot explain. So this, for example, it says past, and this is future, and I am now. You know, heden. It's called in Dutch. I don't know how it's called in English. This is like a symbol for the end. You know, death. You know. Then I have some lyrics of mine, like a poem, and then it's the old cliche of good versus evil, you know. And it's like a whole storyline of shit happening, you know. And here, you know, it's like a little story, you know. Yeah, of those creatures, but and then you have my back. That was my last one. That's a symbol of that I made consisting of 3 existing symbols, and one is the Tau cross. Tau cross is the first cross ever used to crucify someone, and is also the symbol that was used to divide the people who believe and who had a good heart of the people who didn't believe and did not have a good heart back in the almighty Jerusalem. Anyway, and so this is my way of trying to be a good human. Then there's also the Todesrune, so death, you know, and is an important thing in my life. The certainty of death and the knowledge of life being a really short period in existence. I also have, like, genetically, I don't have any man being older than 50 years old in my family, so I kind of tend to calculate my time as I have another 18 years or 15 years now. So, and then it's also an upside down gallows, you know, a gallows to hang yourself. Because I have 2 little sons, I have twins, 2 sons, and the gallows is upside down, and I see it as a symbol of protection for me and my family. You know, this is kind of the idea about my back. And then I have a spine here because I believe in Dutch we have a saying that you have to have spine. You have to have a spine. You know, I don't know if it's in Germany also like that. So you have to stand firm in life. And I have a heart that a heart and empathy, and a heart is really important. Like not only literally but figuratively. You know, like and then I have teeth tattooed as well because I believe if you really believe in something. I symbolize it with teeth. You put your teeth in it, you know, and you hold firm and you don't lose your bite, and you'll get there in the end, you know. This and then some other stuff, you know, like, yeah, that's some stuff. I used to play in another band before, Amenra, and I just had a normal stance on stage, so it's not that I am shy or whatever. But I do have a problem with the fact that singers always draw the most attention. It's weird when you watch a band, you know, a lot of the attention goes to the singer, while he's not necessarily doing most or whatever. So, at the beginning, it was as you know, when we were smaller and we played smaller venues and stuff, and we had smaller stages. Most of the time, I just stood in the crowd, you know, and I stood like the crowd. I was a part of the crowd actually, and because that made more sense, you know, to me. You know, I wanted to be a part of the whole thing, not be the one on stage telling all the people how it is, you know. I think it's my way of trying to be humble in that way, and not trying to wave the flag of truth in everybody's face. So that's how it grew, and then we got bigger, and I had to go on stage because everyone was complaining that they didn't see me and stuff. So that's how it is. It makes perfect sense to us to not stand there and draw much attention, and we want the whole experience to seep inside the audience, and not really one of us taking too much of the attention, because it's the whole that has most impact. That is why, actually, it's better for me as well to have the less impulses I have, the better it is for me to really get in there, and the more it'll make sense, the more the show will have a certain amount of truthful impact. I think that's kind of why. Yeah.
Do you have any things, music or band-wise, that you regret now, looking back at your long band history? Are there any things that you would say, if I had the chance again to do it, I would do it better, or I would do it that way?
We always do that. We always do that. Nothing is ever good enough, First thing we do when we finish something is, okay, good, and how can we do this better, When someone of us likes something, we look at it and we acknowledge it being good, but it can always be better, and that's the only way to keep yourself, keep your attention sharp, have just be on your tiptoes and ready for action. It's so would we do anything different? Probably everything, but it wouldn't look a lot different than what it is now. But it might have been better, I think that's typical for a creative process, or an artist, or whatever. If it's a painting or a sculpture of a song, or an album or artwork or whatever, you can always find ways to do it better. Or it's difficult. Perfection isn't something that exists, It does not exist. It's something you can strive for and try to get as close to as possible, but you'll never get there. And that's just the good part, It's a beautiful, way to walk through life, seeking perfection or whatever, and never reaching it. Maybe it's as simple as leaving something behind, or trying to do something that is of a certain worth to at least one person in the world, So it means a lot to us, and if someone tells us that they really are were helped in a certain situation because of our music or whatever, that's really to me the most beautiful compliment you can get as a musician, because that's not something you can work for, music that helps someone or inspires someone or whatever. So why do you do it? I think it's also, we write a lot of music in terms of leaving something behind for our children. Like, we think it's really a thankful medium to because there's emotion involved, and there's words involved. We can talk to someone and keep on talking to them even if we die, Like, our children will still be able to listen to our music and listen to what we have to say, and will be able to find comfort in our words, and that's what we really want. That's something I think I could have used when I lost my father, for example. Like, at some points in your life, you kind of would wish to have someone to, like, ask his opinion or comfort you when you need it or whatever. and then I realized that we actually can do that through our music. So that's what we decided to do. So basically, it's yeah, that we wish to do. One, we wanted to make our lives easier and the lives of the people we love. You know, we want to leave something behind. We don't really believe in we're afraid of living off music. You know what I mean? Because then I believe you fall into that pattern of we have to have a new album every year or every 2 years, or the people will not will forget us, or the people will, and we have to reach as big as possible crowd. You know, we have to start playing post rock or whatever to reach a more mainstream crowd, whatever. You know, that's that when money's involved. I don't believe that's a good thing. You know, we have, if it's possible, to keep it as far as possible, or not the necessity. I think it's a smart move. Same with every artist. I mean, if you make sculptures and you make a sculpture because you really want to make that sculpture, or you have to make 40 sculptures because there are buyers waiting, I believe that first one will be the best one, you know.
If somebody younger, for example, somebody in your family or something, would come up to you and say, I want to be a professional musician when I grow up, what would you say to him?
I don't know. First try to learn it by yourself, you know. I'm not really, like, none of us is a schooled musician or a schooled artist. None of us has an artistic background or education or whatever. So, and it works. So I question the necessity of it. Of course, some people always need a push in the back, or they have to have to be given direction. But if they want to be a professional musician, they can try. I would say good luck. Yeah, no, I mean, you have to have a lot of luck, and yeah, it depends on a lot of stuff. You can be happy just making music for yourself, you know, and not care at all about if people care about it or like it or never. I think that's the real goal of making music, you know. If making something that does something to yourself, I would probably help the young family member, or try to as good as I can with the experience I have. But it's still there's still so much different factors and stuff that is involved. So there's not a success formula there. I think I would say stay true to yourself and say what you really want to say, you know, from the heart. Just make music with your heart. I think that would be the best advice to give someone.